I'm gonna wait for a few more people to join, and then from there I'm going to start, because you can leave your Facebook videos up for people to go back and see, and I might leave them up until like midnight or something. So just in case somebody want to like grab stuff from the screen, like a screen record or whatever. And I just want to be fair, so whatever. I'm giving some information out for free. Why not? Fuck it. If you see me look down at my phone, it is because that's where my notes are. My handy dandy notes. So that's what I'm looking at. So this is a free CLIA-Waived testing intro class. So I'm just going to set some expectations. So thank you to everybody who has joined today. This is a free repeat class for people who weren't able to attend the first time. I want to be very clear up front. This is a free educational class. This is not a setup class. This is not a step-by-step business build. This is about clarity, not shortcuts. If you're looking for fast money with no rules, this is not that. If you want to understand what CLIA-Waived testing actually is and whether it's something that you can legally and realistically do, you are in the right place. The purpose of today is to help you decide if this industry is even for you. So I have multiple cameras. I'm doing live from this phone and then this iPad, and then I'm also looking at notes. So if I kind of bounce around in a figure eight, that is why. So I'll get started. What CLIA stands for. First, let's start with the business basics, because a lot of people throw this word around without even understanding it. So CLIA stands for Clinical Laboratory Improvement Amendments. That tells you immediately that this is federal, this is regulated, and this involves clinical testing. If it has the word clinical in it, there are rules attached, period. What CLIA testing is. CLIA-Waived testing refers to simple laboratory tests that are considered low risk when performed correctly. A CLIA certificate of waiver allows a business to perform specific approved tests only. It does not make you a doctor, make you a nurse, or allow you to diagnose anyone. This is very important, especially when dealing with people in certain communities, and we will get to that later. It allows you to legally provide certain rapid tests as a business when you follow the rules. Examples, rapid drug screening, certain infectious disease, pregnancy, and other testing. And some people even get into DOT testing, and I can help you guys with that, but that would be more of a detailed more of a detailed class, and it would take up more of my time, and y'all know what that means. So, to get started, to get a CLIA certificate of waiver, you are not going through me, a private website, or a shortcut. You are going through the federal government systems, state health departments, and official regulatory channels, okay? I can do that for you. I can help you. Okay. That means your business information must be accurate. They're going to ask you for your EIN number that you get from the IRS. I will do that for you. They're going to ask you for your actual business name. They're going to check and see if you're actually in business through your state before they even get that far. If certain things are not filled out correctly, they will send that shit back to you 5, 6, 7, 10 times if they have to. So please make sure that it's done right the first time, because they're not letting you do any shortcuts. It's kind of like when I have to file somebody's bankruptcy. It's like 80 pages, I don't know, a whole bunch. But they have to be filled out correctly, or they will just take forever giving it back to you, but they're still nonetheless going to give it back to you and make you have to go through it again. So, your business information has to be accurate. Your entity and address must match. And people do these, like, honestly, even home healthcare companies, they have offices in their homes. You're not going to be going to nobody's coming to your house, so you can have an office in your home. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. So it doesn't have to be, you want a brick and mortar, especially if you're doing grants and loans and those types of things, because the more legitimate you look, the quicker you'll get grants and loans and stuff like that. So you can get a suite for this as you progress, but nonetheless, you are able to use an actual office space in your home to get the process started, get the process rolling, especially if you are a mobile laboratory. Okay. If that went over your head, you might need to get the ebook, join another class, whatever. So your business information has to be accurate. Your entity and address must match, and what you say you're doing must align with what you're legally allowed to do, because they don't play. This is a real registration process, not just something that you click through. You have to be detailed. You have to do some writing, checking boxes, stuff like that. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. You can't just boom, 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 turn some stuff in and just think you're gonna be no. So what it is not, what CLIA-Waived testing is not. This is where a lot of misinformation comes in. CLIA-Waived testing is not medical diagnosis, lab certification, DNA testing, automatic DOT testing. Anybody can do whatever they want. CLI-Waived does not mean unregulated. So just understand that if you want to add certain things to your certificate, you want to add certain things to your portfolio, the list of what you can and can't do, you have to go through those channels, and you probably do need somebody to walk you through it or do it for you and give you some pointers on how to stay compliant. Okay, common misconceptions. We're going to clear up some of the biggest misconceptions. Okay, number one is you can just order tests and start testing people. That is false. First of all, a lot of these legal places that you go through, because some of them look legal and they use a lot of good words and verbiage and it looks like they're legit, and they're not. They're not recognized by the government or anything like that. So a lot of them are going to ask you for your certification numbers, which is what a vendor should do in order to protect themselves, because stuff like that can fall back on them as well. So you kind of want to make sure you have your ducks in a row. You're not needing paperwork or needing to keep track of paperwork. You do need paperwork. You do need to keep track of paperwork. I will tell you how to do that, what paperwork to order, because you do have to actually order the paperwork. You can't just print stuff off on your computer. You can tell somebody that they are positive. You cannot. You have to send out certain documentation to them and tell them that, hey, these are the next steps because we got some feedback, whatever. You cannot diagnose them though. And another misconception is people think they don't need policies and procedures like you do with home health care. Yes, you do. I can write those for you. You can have somebody else do that for you. Or you can do it for yourself. Just know that if it is not correct, or if you copy and paste it, or if you get it generated by some robot, that they will send that shit back to you. So you want to make sure that you're doing the correct thing, because the government is not stupid, even though a lot of people like to think that the government is stupid. So this is not a side hustle with no rules, okay? We want to respect this industry. And to be honest, when a lot of people was getting into home health care and getting their CDLs and stuff like that, this is where they went wrong. They were trying to do shortcuts. They were trying to just get set up real quick and don't know any knowledge of the actual industry that they are getting into, and that will fuck you up. And that will actually fuck up the whole industry. Now y'all wondering why their Medicaid ain't paying that much. Now y'all wondering why these places want to make you go through hoops and hurdles. It's because everybody's getting into it and they're not doing things correctly. Okay. So anyway, most people just get shut down over documentation, compliance, not the test itself. So you have a chain of custody that you have to go through when you're handling specimens from humans. Okay, we're gonna go through that in the next class. So let me know if you want to participate. If you are serious, this is not for everybody. Let's say if it's 3 people watching, maybe half of one wants to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Like just little random output or whatever. If there's 50 people doing it, maybe it's only 2 people that actually like, I can really do that. Because some people, they just want to learn and hear and decide if it's for them or it's not. But this is to let you know that this is not something that's just, oh, it's cute, let me get into it because it's the next best thing. No, this is a multi-billion-dollar company, a multi-billion-dollar industry coming into 2026. So we know what that means. What comes after billion, trillion, okay? Especially when our people get into it. We start making things, happen more for other people. We start exposing it more. We bring more light to it. So just like I'm pretty sure home health care as a whole has grown. The trucking industry as a whole has grown, which is a good thing. But it also, y'all can fuck up people's numbers and pricing points if it's too many people getting into it and they're not compliant and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So make sure you're serious about this because this affects people's livelihood, especially if you're getting court-ordered things. If you're doing anything with DNA, if you want to go to the next level. And you can do different levels of this. You can partner with clinics that can do a little bit more. You can send stuff to them as a partner. It's so much you can do with this. It's so much money you can make with this. But don't think that because it's a lot of money or something and it's easy to get into, it's not thousands of dollars to get started, that you can just kind of play with it, because that's when y'all got messed it up for everybody else. One of the biggest missing pieces people underestimate is the policies and procedures. Policies and procedures explain how the testing is conducted, how the results are handled, how the records are stored, how mistakes are addressed, so how you fix things when they're fucked up. You're going to talk about that in your policies and procedures. How compliance is maintained. How do you maintain a level of being respectable to the people who you're servicing, the companies that you're dealing with, the government, the judge, everything. How do you handle that? And that's probably something that you honestly need somebody who has more experience than you doing for you, realistically. A lot of people that did home health care, they had people write their policies and procedures. It's a tedious process. Whatever. This is why I offer that service. They are required, they must be customized, and they must match what you're actually doing. We're going to draw the boundary is templates don't protect you. So people are like, oh, I can just go order me a template. That template will get you messed up. Compliant documentation is going to protect you though. So who this is actually for, this is for entrepreneurs who want a compliant business. This is for mobile testers. This is for event-based testers. Yes, you can go test at events. You can. When you start your business and you're compliant and you have a good reputation, that's how you're going to get your name out here. And we're going to talk about marketing again in the upcoming classes. And y'all know how I am with marketing. If you're my friend on social media and if you're in this group, you know how much I market. So I'm going to help y'all with marketing as well. I don't just leave you hanging like, okay, we got you set up, leave me the hell alone. No, I'm going to help you actually, like if you have any questions, pointers, it might take me a little bit to get back to you. But nonetheless, I am going to take care of you for supporting what I have going on. And just for purposes of not leaving nobody hanging, and I'm not a gatekeeper. So that's why I'm trying to get y'all to do this and understand this before everybody in the world catches on. But those who get it, those who don't. This is for people who are willing to follow structure and rules, people who understand that this is a real business, not a quick flip. Okay? That's who it's for. Who it's not for. This is not for people who don't want to do paperwork, not for people who want to just try it. Please don't do that. This is not for people who don't want to invest. If you don't want to invest in you, I'm not investing my time in you. Realistically, like, I love myself, I value my time, I respect myself, I respect my time, so you're going to have to respect yourself and respect your time and actually be willing to invest in you. A lot of times people wonder how I get all of this business handle, how I link up with so many people that people look at as higher stature or whatever, and it's because I'm willing to invest. I'm willing to invest in you if you're going to invest in me. So whether it's time, money, whatever, I'm going to come with respect. So this is not for people who want to diagnose clients because you're not a doctor. This is not for people who don't want to follow procedures. You have to be precise. If you want to make good money, you got to do the shit right. If you want, you can have, they say good and fast, fast and good. I forget the other combinations, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all want longevity in your business. If you don't like structure, this industry is going to frustrate you. So you have to have some structure with this. You have to with a lot of businesses. I don't care if you're selling clothes. If you don't have structure, I've failed businesses back in a long time ago, couple years ago, because I didn't have structure. Okay, so let's talk about the opportunities. So the real money in this industry often comes from employers, the people who are hiring people, staffing agencies. You want to link up with your staffing agency and get you, I'm telling you, event organizers, schools, treatment programs, private companies. That is where the business proposals come in, which I will help you with, honey. Okay? Businesses are, like, once you get a good name for yourself, businesses will find you. But starting out, if you're not willing to do the marketing or hire somebody to do the marketing for you and hire somebody to do the networking for you, or if you're not willing to do the networking yourself because you're an introvert and you want somebody to get contracts for you, then you need to invest in that. You're going to be sending out emails. You're going to be cold calling. You're going to be definitely running your mouth about your business. That's any business, though. The website designers, they don't get tired, okay? They know it's a very competitive market. They are inboxing people on Gmail 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, trying to get them to build their website. So you got to be hungry. Okay, if I get up in the middle of the night and I'm like, I can't go to sleep for the next 20 minutes, I'm probably going to post something about my business. You have to be like that. But yeah, that's where business proposals come in. I help people structure professional proposals. Clearly explain services. Approach businesses the right way. Because how you say things, how you come off to a business matters. Okay? Businesses don't want random testers. They don't want people that's just out here doing shit. They want people that are compliant. They want compliant partners, not just testers. So, again, I touched earlier on the industry and how much it's growing. In 2026, the rapid testing and screening industry is a multi-billion-dollar market. It is driven by workplace compliance, insurance requirements. Some insurances require businesses to make sure that they are drug testing people. So that means you want to go after people who do what? Drive. That's why getting DLT certified would help you. We'll talk about that in another class. I want to make sure I'm staying on time. But there are businesses, there are insurance companies that are like, are you drug testing your employees? Because guess what? If you mess up something on the job, right? If you mess up something on the job, even if you don't drive, I'm just giving you an example because people don't understand how it works. So I'm going to just help you. I'm just giving y'all a free game, whatever. This is how bad we are needed, and people don't even understand the longevity that it can provide for you, the money that it can provide for you. Okay, so if you at Amazon, you on a forklift, and you working at Amazon for 3 years, and you hit something, and you knock down a whole rack of food, and you spill a lot of food, you cause a lot of damage, they're gonna drug test you. If you hurt yourself on the job, which happens a lot, right? A lot of people hurt themselves on the job. And you trying to get some money out your job, or you trying to get some paid time off from a job, some vacation time, they're going to drug test you because you are causing an issue in the community, in the workplace. So with that being said, in order for them to even stay compliant with their insurance, who they're going to be paying you from, their insurance is who they pull from when stuff like that happens. I didn't know that. I don't know. Maybe I did. But when you mess up on the job, your job is going to pull from their insurance. No matter how big the company, they're going to pull from their insurance. The insurance is going to make them drug test you in order to make sure they're not paying out money to somebody who was just out here smoking weed before the job, or somebody who's drinking before the job. And then when you get pulled over and you're driving a truck, or you're driving a transit van, or if you're an Uber driver, they're going to ask you to submit a drug test when you get into an accident if you're at fault sometimes. And who do you need? You need Takaya. You need a you who's trying to drug test testing business today. Also, you have public health needs. I don't want to run over on time. I will tell y'all all the tea, honey. But public health needs. So we don't want to spread disease unknowingly, no matter if it's STDs, no matter if it's I don't want to talk about that. No matter if it's COVID, stuff like that, we want to make sure that we're getting tested to keep other people safe and to keep ourselves safe, and our families safe. So rapid testing is one of those things you can get into for those reasons as well. Mobile and event-based testing. I have actually had to do a DNA test before, and the lady actually pulled it on me. And I was like, maybe that. And they do. At the crib. They pull up to the crib. You can pull up to the crib. Okay. Event-based testing. That's for job fairs. You can be at a job fair. You can be at a health fair. Somebody could just be having their own event, and they want to say, hey, y'all, I'm offering, testing for, this community or that community. Everybody get free tested, and the company pays for it in order to bring more people out and raise awareness. You can get a grant for doing that. You can be a nonprofit and do this and get grants and loans from the government, especially if you are a minority, if you are a woman, if you are black, if you're Mexican. Yeah. Employer risk management. So when people are just hiring, everybody has to take a mouth swab. Guess what? Those people be contracted at those health fairs. Because why would we even get you that far in the process if you gonna smoke weed, you can't stop smoking, or you can't stop drinking? Why would we put you on our insurance and mess ourselves up? No. Absolutely not. So there is room for independent operations, mobile businesses, and small companies. But if they are not compliant, this industry is not for you. And it's only if you're compliant. So I'll go over the last thing and then I'll get off here. Today's class tells you what this is and what it isn't. The $50 paid class. I gave y'all a lot of gems today, but imagine how much is in the paid class. The paid class goes deeper and it covers how to apply, which tests you're allowed to perform, who's legally allowed to do the testing, because that's a question I keep on getting asked. I don't know, I'll tell you next. A deeper breakdown of policies and procedures, what you can and cannot say to clients. This is where things start becoming actionable. The free class gives clarity, the paid class gives direction. If you are serious, the next class is where you need to be. I do not answer startup questions in my DMs or my text messages. Please respect me, and all serious inquiries go through my email. I'm going to leave this up for people who want to watch it and screen record it. If you feel like you missed something and you stop recording and you're like, oh shit, I should have got that. I'm going to leave this up for y'all so y'all can get what y'all want to get out of it. And I'm going to take it down. Maybe. I might leave it up. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, I do not answer the setup questions in my messages. You cannot trick me into telling you stuff. I told you what I wanted to tell you, and I will tell you what I want to tell you, no matter what. If you're not ready yet, that's okay. Take the information, sit with it, and come back when you are ready. I do not sell hype. I teach y'all compliance. I teach y'all clarity, correct setup, because that's what keeps businesses open. And I don't want to open nothing that's not going to stay open. I'm not trying to do anything for short term, none of that. We trying to do this for the long haul. And I wanted my city to be first ones to really get it cracking, because y'all gonna see somebody else buying this and buying that, and y'all gonna want to buy this and buy that, and y'all gonna wish I did the best. So that's all I gotta say. So do it before everybody else catch on. That's my advice to y'all.